Right, so here I am in a brand new, well, I say brand new, 111 hours on the machine. I think I got in here on 60 something hours, and yeah, nearly the end of the first week with a company called Decan. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about this machine because I think it's pretty boss. As you can hear, it's nice and quiet. Yeah, quite chilled. It's actually a bit cold in here. There we go. I'm trying to look after the machine as best as possible to keep the dirt out as much as possible. The good thing about this, apparently, it's positive pressure inside the cab, which is a rumour. I don't know if that is actually true or not, but you know, it's not really dusty around here, so not a lot of dust is getting in. As part of my endeavour to make sure that I keep this machine clean, I take my boots off. I've got a little tray down there that my boots sit in, so the mud stays in there. Although, having said that, you may have noticed there's plenty of mud on my trousers, so which is a bit disappointing. However, it is the nature of the game, and it's starting to rain again, and as you can see in front of me, it's just mud. I mean, it's just mental mud. Anyhow, so this is the joy that I have, the eternal battle with mud. Fitted on this beautiful machine is a Rototilt. It's an R3, not an RC3. Not too sure what the difference is. I'm sure Rototilt will, if they pop up on my feed on Facebook, they'll tell me what the difference is, or maybe one of you guys and gals, you might tell me what the difference is. However, it's got a gripper on it, which is a first for me. I've been used to Encon. Encon is, you know, I mean, if you turn around and ask me which one's better, don't ask me. With Encon and this, I mean, it's not really fair comparison, because on the Kubota that I was running, which, you know, if you go back in my history, you'll see it. It wasn't fully integrated, so it didn't have the full Encon system, DC2 or DCS2, one of the two. This does, so I get feedback from this Encon onto my screen, and it seems smoother, seems a bit more controlled. Having said that, the Encon that I've been using on the Kubota, I've got no complaints, if I'm honest. So yeah, we've got this. As I said, it's fully integrated. It's got CAT logo on it, so I'm assuming that Rototilt make bespoke parts for CAT. I may be wrong, but it just seems like it's a CAT layout as well, because the track steer or the stick steer button is in yellow, which is there. There we go. You can see the yellow there. Boom, boom, boom. Press it and you can control the tracks with the control stick. Pretty boss. It's a bit like a skid steer loader, really. So yeah, I think this is fully integrated, and it's nice. You know, it's nice to have a stick that kind of sort of molds into your hand. You it's a novelty for me. So of course, if something's new and it works, you know, you're going to be over the moon with it, aren't you? So I've no comparison to any other setup, so don't ask me which is best. So yeah, quite like that. It's the high flow. I think all 309s are high flow. You know, you don't quote me on that, but I think it is. And basically there's an additional pump that runs the auxiliary pipes. Now, coming from a forestry horticulture background, I've done quite a bit of mulching, tree shearing, hedge cutting with attachments, and it's a welcome addition. Not that I've used it with those attachments on this one, however, it is a welcome addition because whereas with the Kubota it doesn't have that, you track and you lose RPM on the mulcher, so you need to wait for it to spin up. In this, the rumor is that you don't have to, you know, it doesn't happen. You just it just keeps the tool going, which is cool. So yeah, that's another bonus. The other thing is, which really grits my fecal matter, is that in a Kubota, every time I came out and went in, I'd have to press a button to engage the Encon, so I could use the Encon. So every time I lifted the isolator arm, I'd have to press a button to start using. In this, no, it's on. It's always on, and so it should be always on, which is absolutely. It's the small things that make the difference. So it's always on, and because it's also integrated, you know, you've got wheels on the front, you've got buttons on the front. I know what the left one does, I don't know what the right one. I think the right one is in regards to attachments, because when I press it I can hear the engine. However, on the left one you have a toggle, and it does, it swivels my boom. I think that's brilliant. The only reason why I think that's brilliant is because I didn't have it before. So that means that, you know, when I get really tuned into the machine, you know, I could perform, you know, I could be swiveling and rotating and tilting the bucket, the boom, the dipper arm, the bucket, you know, every movement, you know, you could do. So go. Hopefully you saw that. I don't know if you did, but you know, that was nearly every movement apart from tracks and slew, but you know, we're then ending up in the absolute ridiculous. But it definitely is a novelty for me. The one on the right does the grippers. That's one thing I found really. That's negative. I will add a negative at this point. Do that, and the whole, you know, the thing slews. You know, if I do that, that's a lot of slew, and I'm not too sure if I've done if there's a setup thing going on or what, but that's a lot of movement. I mean, I think what it is, it's kind of like like a train buffer, right? So you stop, but it just absorbs the momentum, and that might be, you know, to save the slew gear and the slew motor. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm surmising, but it is a possibility. Let me just put this down because it's just annoying me. You know, it's all health and safety, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's a negative. There are a few other negatives that I'll mention, but nothing major. Oh look, I like this. I know, so simple. I mean, I must be a simpleton, but you know, just to do that makes this cab nice and cozy. You know, I don't need to look up, but if I wanted to brighten the place up, or you know, I want to see what's going on, because I'm working at height, which I doubt, because this the boom itself is another negative. This boom, the angle of the kink in the boom, it's just makes me want to cry. It makes this thing so short. The reach is I don't know why. You know, I'm sure there's a design thought behind it, which I am not privy to. I mean, give me a variable boom, split boom, tab boom, whatever you want to call it, any day, because I love working with them, because I have so much, you know, the whole setup is so manipulative. But you know, it is what it is. So you know, I have to live with it. We'll see in time. I mean, you know, I've only been on this for a week, so we'll see what this thing, what the meaning is behind this. So yeah. Other than that, you know, that's the basic overview. One thing I learned, right now, this I think is again genius. Why it's not been thought of, right? I learned this from YouTube, right? Check that out. Woo! And it's stowed. Why has no one else thought of this? You know, I mean, when it's hot weather, or you know, you just want to stretch your legs out, you know, whatever. But I think it's great. It's stowed away, and now, you know, obviously I've got my phone there. I can lift the whole thing. It sits up there with that front bottom screen in, and Bob's your uncle. Genius. You know, that I mean, that's you know, it's literally like a side window slider. It's genius. Why they not thought of that before, I don't know. However, as an operator, I like my comfort, and it's getting cold. So there we go. Right. Yeah. Now I'll quickly jump on a little bit further, because I'm going to make this a bit of a long video, I think. I'm just waiting for topsoil, because this mud fest that we've got here, we're covering with topsoil. So I've already done. Hold on, let me just show you. I don't know if you can actually see it from the angle. I've got my phone linked up so I can actually see what you're seeing. I've topsoiled this. Let's see if I can. There you go. So I've topsoiled that. It's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. My excuse is I'm getting used to the machine. But yeah, it's good enough for me. Well, I say it's good enough for me. It works. So, but there is a slope on this. Let me just get the bucket in view. Let me just raise that slightly so you can actually see it. There we go. Right, so in theory that bucket is now spirit level. So you can see there is a slight slope on there. I mean, I can't see it for love nor money, and you know, as far as I understand this system, when I press this button, this one here, and hold it down, it will level everything out on the bucket. In world level, not machine level, because I mean, as far as I understand it, because I'm still waiting for the operator's manual.